Welcome to The Gloves Are Off with Grant Browning and Brandon V. Every Friday from 2 to 3 p.m. The show about insights into business and success. Tune in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are the surprise guests, and we still got real talk in the background. Can you believe this? I think Alyssa got really taken back by our last guest.
I think you might be right.
And they're listening to us out there, so it's all good. So I want to welcome everybody. Welcome to a new show. This is The Gloves Are Off.
The gloves are off. I'm excited.
This show is something that's a little bit different. It's kind of, dude, every time I play the feed on my phone, it keeps shutting off. Anyways, I got to see if someone's commenting or not. But this show is very unique. It's kind of complementing Real Talk because it's all about being real. It's about success. It's about business. It's about stuff that people don't want to talk about. And dude, they're having fun out there.
They're really, you can hear them, right?
So if you guys are just tuning in for this show, we just finished Real Talk. We had special guest Rain Magic in. Dude, the guy really screws with your mind.
It's scary.
I was going to say something else. Starts with that fellowship.
Frigs with your mind.
But dude, he's sick. You guys got to check him out. Check him out on Rain Magic on Facebook.
And where is he based?
Here in Toronto. You hear them?
Wow, he's really doing something.
Guys, you are coming over our mics.
We can hear you loud and clear.
So, dude, what's happening, man? We got. First off, I want to start out with we got to promote the business social that's coming up.
Oh,
I mean, we're talking
man.
business, right? So
I'm excited for that.
If you guys haven't got your tickets, you have literally 10 days left to get the early bird special tickets, and these are New Year's special tickets. $40 gets you a lot of stuff.
Do you believe in deja vu?
I believe in a lot of stuff. But you're not my type, dude, so.
You've seen some products, you tried some stuff, you bought some stuff, great. But wouldn't it be better? Because listen, you've spent more on that than a home pizza at home for the family, right? Let's think about it. You've lost more money than that. To spend $40 to come into a place like that, get the marketplace, plus be fed and understand and get the knowledge and the insights of getting a golden nugget that may spur your business into the next level. But even if you're thinking about starting a business and you're on the cusp of what should I do? Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? You're going to hear something that maybe be the thing is like, great, this is what I need to hear. And then you get the chance. So take notes, bring a journal with you, okay? And then you have the chance to be able to potentially win a package that is going to get your business started up and coached through it.
Yes.
Or put yourself in a situation where you can take your existing business, rebrand it, put it into that place and be like, now we're rocking 2017.
Exactly. And
$40.
There's more. I'm forgetting. You also have Brampton Batman that's coming out.
Brampton Batman.
And guys, you got to remember that we're only how many months are we? We're just under 4 months away.
Just under 4 months away.
There is still stuff that's going to be added between now and 4 months. So we have Brampton Batman that's scheduled to be there and confirmed. We also have Tropicana Queens are coming back for performance.
Those amazing.
Yes, so these are Brazilian samba dancers. So you got to be for that. And we got a few more things in the works.
I'm excited,
dude. You got a picture when you walk into this place. You have steel pan playing. It just sets the atmosphere right then and there. Dude, you're in something that's interesting. This is a networking event. This is high class, high end kind of networking event. For $40 gets you into the VIP section to see all the performances and the speakers. That is exclusive. The people that come into to the marketplace, which we're expecting over 1,000 people, cannot get into that VIP area.
Okay.
Right? So we only have room for 220 people, guys, and tickets are going fast.
Tickets are going fast.
Tickets are going fast. I feel like we spent 15 minutes talking on this already. So what we're going to do, Brandon.
Yes, sir.
We are going to take a quick break.
You are listening to The Gloves Are Off.
Roger's getting excited here.
Roger's getting very excited.
What?
Roger's awesome.
So Roger.
Roger makes me sound sexy.
Doesn't he?
He does.
Brandon V.
Brandon V. Grant Browning.
So anyway, yes, so we are here for the gloves are off.
The gloves are off, definitely.
Yes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause for the cause. Really, we know what we're talking about. Trust me. But we're gonna pause for the cause, pay some bills, and when we come back, we will get into the actual subject we're supposed to be talking about today.
Let's do it.
Been so far today?
It's been absolutely amazing. It's only the morning time, and we've had such a crazy response, having so much fun, and now people are starting to come in. So if you haven't showed up yet, make sure you get down here, still time.
Brandon V.
Grant Browning and Brandon V.
And we are back, and thank you. It's 20 minutes past the top of the hour, 2 o'clock, and you're listening to The Gloves Are Off. We still got real talk going on in the background here, right? So, anyways, yes, so we're the first ever show of The Gloves Are Off.
Absolutely.
So why don't we, give a little bit of an introduction as to what people can expect from this show, because Brandon knows me very well, and he knows that when it comes to business, I have no filter.
There is no filter. I'm hoping to be the filter, but I got a strange feeling that he's going to pull my filter off at the same time. First of all, I just want to say hi to Renee Talavera Shao. Hi, how you doing? Who's watching
Hi,
in
Renee.
on Facebook? Thank you for your support. If anybody else is watching in, please, guys, say hi to us.
Hit us
know
up,
you're there.
share us out.
Exactly. If you have an opinion, if you have something that you want to say, if you want to counteract what we're saying, or if you don't believe what we're saying or don't agree with it, you can call in on...
Right there, man. Right in front of you.
Right in front of you.
647-931-4701. Apparently, Brandon needs a refresher course from
really
Monday.
I really
but
do.
anyways, so...
It seems like it's been a long time since Monday. 647-931-4701.
Dude, we got to get you to do some voiceovers.
Let's do it.
All right. So our subject today is integrity, business coaches, and wherever else we want to go with this, right?
Exactly.
And pink suits you well, Brandon.
What?
Oh, I think
the headphones.
guys, they're actually red.
They are red.
So we can let you guys know here it's red. So
Renee's saying pink suit. It's red. Renee, it's red. Okay, so let's talk about. Let's start off with
let's talk about integrity.
Let's talk about
Integrity.
Integrity.
We touched on it. So we did a trial show. A lot of people didn't know. We did a pilot show back in November.
That's right.
It was November we did a pilot show, and the phones were ringing off the hook because our subject was 100% integrity. We touched on a lot of things. So Oprah Winfrey, her quote is amazing. Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one's looking.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is so true. Because integrity first and foremost is part of the person. Okay, it doesn't make a difference. There's a lot of people who will create the facade, and it's something I like to call the. I heard somebody else say it, and I've adopted it. There's people out there, plenty of people out there, who have fake facades that can be broken with a rubber mallet.
Oh, you're talking about Facebook images.
Well, not just Facebook images. We're talking about people in person as well. So you see the Facebook images, you see the Facebook persona, but then you see the people in real life. And the reality is that they have fake facades that can be busted up with a rubber mallet, So it's not very strong. So with integrity, people wear it like it's a suit for a reason. They put it out there and they talk to people as if they have the integrity when it really isn't part of their DNA. And if it isn't part of their DNA, it will slip up very
eventually.
easily.
It will come through.
You can't keep it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, one of my favorite mentors, his name's Scott Michael. He was in a network marketing company years ago. I don't know if he still is. I remember him saying from stage, people of integrity expect to be believed. And
Yes.
when they're not, they let their time and their efforts prove them right.
You know, it's either going to promote you or expose you. That's the deal. Hello.
Yeah. I'm hearing voices. Like I'm going crazy. I'm hearing voices.
That is truly in your head.
You're not hearing them in the mic?
Yeah, I can.
Isn't that eerie?
Can anybody else hear
Where
them?
it's like we're picking up another station or something like that.
Or
I don't
another
know.
planet?
Clearly. Yeah. what was that thing? Nanu or whatever?
Mock!
Yeah.
So the whole situation, look, is either time will either promote you or expose you.
It's
okay?
true. It's very true.
Which is why, it's better. And we got to understand, I think one of the key things to understand with integrity is that it has to be something we have to work on ourselves, and it has to be something that's continuously worked on, because ultimately, at the end of the day, we're only human, and we do fall, we do get things wrong, but we have to be okay with that. Not be like, okay, we need to create this pristine vision of integrity that you don't keep up at home, or you only partially keep up at home, but then you go outside and I need to wear this visual coat, this suit of armor that people see this person, otherwise they're not going to buy my product, or they're not going to believe me, or they're not going to get into my coaching system, or whatever. I think if people understand that that you have integrity, and in part of having integrity is being, look, I don't get everything 100% right.
Well, I think too, people kind of take the wrong thing when they hear about, image is everything.
Mm-hmm.
A best impression is a first impression.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. And the problem is I've seen a lot of people that will go broke trying to put on a persona, a front.
Absolutely.
Right? With a fancy car.
Yeah.
Or they'll go out and they'll buy a used fancy car.
Okay.
But can't afford to fix it when it breaks.
Absolutely. And guys, if you're out there watching on Facebook Live, I want you to chime in, okay?
Yes,
let us
we
know
wanna hear what you're saying.
you think, if you agree with us, if you don't agree with us, what your opinion is as well, because we'd like to bring that into the show as well.
For sure. 647-931. Somebody's vibrating.
I know.
647-931-4701. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I find that there's a lot of that, especially being in business and the type of business that we are in.
Yeah.
We meet a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And I've seen a lot of people who, look good, smell good, but behind the scenes, on stage, off stage presence. You know what I mean? And it stems down to a lot of things too. We're now coming into business coaches. Very interesting time.
Yeah.
Everybody's a business coach. Everybody's a life coach. Everybody is. There are all these coaches. Nothing against them.
No.
I think you're doing a great thing. But my thing that I look at is always to make sure the information is credible where you're getting it from.
Yes.
Because if I can't take care of my own affairs, how can I teach you?
You know what? And you bring up an interesting point.
You notice the pause. We gotta move the camera. People can't see my face. And, they see my bald spot, but they can't see my damn face.
We're gonna get two cameras. One pointing at you, one pointing at me. That's gonna be a little interesting. Okay, so you bring up an interesting point, and I've sat down and I've thought about this because I'm like, okay, I understand that because you have to have been through it. Now, one thing that I've come to understand more, or I believe more, okay, is the thing that you got to look at is who can take you there.
Exactly.
This is the first thing, is who can take you there. And if you know somebody has been through it, look, you don't necessarily need to be there at that point. The fact is, if you've...
Now, you're talking about the business coach?
This is a business coach.
Okay.
This is anybody who's actually been somewhere, okay? If you're in that position that you have actually climbed that ladder, you've got to a particular level, and you're like, listen, I'm not there anymore. Because situation could have happened that you could have lost business, you could have gone through this, that. And you can say, I can take you to this level. But by losing it, I understand what it is I did that was wrong. Okay? So I can help you navigate to get to the top peak level that I got to, but nowhere further.
True,
Okay?
true.
So long as you're okay and you have that integrity to say, look, this is all I know. Once I can get you to that level. So you don't necessarily need to be there at that point. The fact that you did it before Okay. The fact that maybe you may be like, okay, well, I did it. I reached the level that I wanted to, and now I want to chill out. Okay. So you don't have it anymore. I achieved that. So you can say, yes, I can get you there. Or you could have got there, lost it through some mistakes that you made. So you can turn around and say, I can get you there, but I can tell you what not to do.
But then
that
stems down to integrity. Because
and that's right.
if you're going to be a business coach and you're going to give people advice, and yes, maybe you have lost it, and you've learned from those mistakes that you have done. I mean, nobody is perfect.
Yeah.
But then be straight up about it. And when you're consulting with people, let them know. This is what I did to screw up. Plain and simple.
And that's the deal, is because if you did screw up, it means I've learned how to navigate those situations so that you don't make the same mistake that I made to lose it.
Exactly.
If you did lose it.
Exactly.
Okay? That's if you did lose it.
But you see, sometimes, dude, like everything's like getting beaten up in here.
I know.
What is that? What are you beating up?
People are dropping money on the floor.
Oh, is it like $100? I'll take that. Yeah,
it's $100 coin.
Okay. Yes. So, listeners and viewers are like, "What is?"
What are these guys on? I just want to say hi to John Mellinson. Thanks for joining, brother. Good to see you. If you have an opinion, please, you can message here on Facebook, or you can call in on 647-931-4701.
So people have asked me before. I have a mentor.
Okay.
Very successful mentor. And I've had mentors all my life.
Okay.
Starting from when I was 18 years old. Actually, even previous to that, I've had mentors and just in different lines that I wanted to do. People ask me now, why do I have a mentor? And they don't. And I explain to them that first off, in order to do something you've never done, you have to be willing to do stuff you've never done.
Absolutely.
Right? And did I say that right? I
Makes
messed
sense.
that one up. Didn't I? In order to have something you've never had, you have to be willing to do something you've never done. That's better. Which also means that you also have to realize that you are only where you are because of what you know and what you do.
100%.
Right? So in order to go to that next level, you also have to be willing to learn and do different things.
Yep.
So it was the same thing in my situation. 2 years ago, I realized that I wanted to take our company to the next level. I physically went out and looked for my mentor. People like, and nothing against them, but Tony Robbins and all these people, the fluffy people, they don't do it for me personally. But I wanted someone that has done it, is currently doing business, and it really reflects on what my values are.
Well, you can really see the physical aspect of their success.
100%.
Got it.
Right? So I went out and I found my mentor. I literally went on a hunt for it and
Mr.
checked.
GC?
Yes, sir. And checked all the credibilities and stuff like that.
Yep.
And it was important for me to make sure that he had values. He wasn't just cocky and it was about his money and stuff like that. It was more about, let me teach you what I have done. Right? Too often I see coaches that are out there that think that you have to be a certain way, like this, the persona, the nice cars, the whole thing, come out and give you business advice, but can't put the gas in their car on the way home.
Yeah.
That's an integrity issue.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
I think, again, it comes back to the point of, if somebody, and this is where it comes to actually knowing who the person is, knowing what the issue is, and having people who are like, I'll tell you what the situation is. Because, put it this way, if I've been somewhere and I know how to get you there, and I've lost it through whatever stupidity that I did, or not getting a mentor, or not understanding this, or making a mistake, I know that if that wasn't done, that would have been maintained. Now, if I can't put gas in my car, I can still, it doesn't take away the knowledge I have. And if anything, it's given me more experience. I can still tell you, but I need to tell you, hey, not, hey, listen, I'm still rolling in it. I need to tell you, hey, I can tell you how to get there, but I lost it but I can tell you how to navigate that. But this is the top level I can get you to.
For sure.
So I'm not under any facade, but if I'm dressing in a Gucci suit and I'm pulling up and I'm trying to make sure, and I I borrowed the car from somebody else. That really is an integrity issue. But if I say, listen, I lost it, but I can tell you how to get there. But once you get to that point, and if you see the successes as you're moving up, you can stick with me. But if you get to that point, then I'm going to have to hand you off, or you're going to have to find somebody who can take you to the next level, because I've never been there. I don't know what that looks like.
And I think it stems down to a lot of times too with coaches and stuff like that. It's ego, right? I mean,
Big time. Fame.
Well, yeah, but when I say ego, I mean like being humble enough to say that, you know, like I can teach you to where I've gotten and what not to do.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't do that. It's more of the, I've been around a lot of people that have been like, you know, this is what you need to do. It's almost like the dictatorship kind of thing that teaching that they would do. And at the same time, I remember I had a mentor. We had touched on this on the pilot show. I had a mentor that I looked up to for a long time. He was worth $25 million. Doesn't seem like a lot these days, but back then
it's more than most of us have.
he was worth $25 million.
Okay.
And at the peak, when I was actually got a chance to be mentored by him, he was really on the way down.
Okay.
And the one thing I noticed, which was probably one of the biggest lessons for me, was his on-stage presence, where he would go on and teach people and talk about his morals, beliefs, and values, was very different to his backstage. When I was at his house and whatnot, it was very, very different. And for me, that was a huge blow.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for years, I had literally idled this guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, I idolized this guy big time, right? I mean, everything was about this guy.
And then when you see everything behind the scene and the expose.
Well, I mean, he had written a book on relationships, on marriage, and shortly after had gotten divorced.
Well, you know what? Actually,
But shit happens, right?
It
shit
does.
happens, and I get
does.
that. So I
Yeah.
was willing to put that aside.
Yeah.
But 5 years later, I was actually in his house being mentored by my hero. And I'm watching when he would go, and at that point, he started this big mastery company.
Okay.
He was, you know, the whole point was, you know, train the coaches, coach this, you know, and the different levels,
Absolutely.
right? And I would watch what he would do on stage, how he would train people on stage,
Yeah.
his teachings and stuff like that. I mean, he was very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Very, very knowledgeable.
Sure.
He went through many different things, including that I forget what it's called. It's now legal, where
Okay.
they go into those huts, and it's a sweat hut.
Okay.
And
yeah,
you have
yeah.
to literally go through there for like, I think it's like 24 or 48 hours or
Yeah.
something like that. No
Yeah.
food, no drink, no nothing. And people were dying in it, right? But I guess it taught him lessons. He went from that, and then I would be at his house, and it was a totally different. Like everything that he did was not what he preached.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Done as I do, yeah.
I just want to reach out and say hi to Angelina Uterad, who's watching in, my cousin.
Nice.
Hi, how you doing? Thanks for joining in. If you have an opinion, you can type it in the comment section, or you can reach us, call us into the studio at 647-931-4701.
You are listening to The Gloves Are
Dude,
You are.
I have to have a talk with Roger.
You have to
He's
have
like, you know,
He's
stuck
supposed to
in.
jump in every now and then. But you know what? The funny thing that you say that is, I heard somebody turn around and say, I would much rather have a training session by people who have failed, so I can be like, teach me how not to do it.
Oh, really?
I mean, like, I'd spend more money on finding out how people screwed up than how people made success, so I could bypass that. It was a joke, but it was,
But you know
pretty
what?
funny. I get it.
There is some validity to that because
Yeah.
I mean, some people would, because I've watched a lot of people and learned what not to do too.
Yeah.
But I've watched them. I don't need
Yeah.
them to teach me.
No, don't do
No,
this.
that's kind of dangerous in
Go do
itself,
it.
right? So, what we're gonna do is we missed our first cue to pause for the cause because you know we're having fun for our first show. So, anyways, we're gonna pause for the cause, pay some bills. Roger's getting excited, so we gotta let him talk.
We gotta let him talk, guys.
Okay, we'll be back in a minute.
See you soon.
In a sea of people, it's easy to get lost amongst all the stories we have to tell. With this platform, a new voice is being heard, one that offers real insight to transform, educate, and inspire greatness, always building, nurturing, and evolving with the times. Our goal is to make a statement, to transform the world, and engage all of its citizens. Accepting multiculturalism is taking the first step and listening to each other, uniting towards positive change. It's not about any one race, religion, or culture, but about uplifting and empowering one another. Standing above segregation is our game. Our vision is to expand, to create and implement change, zeroing in on what matters the most, banding together to preserve and celebrate our heritage, cultures, and community spirit. Become inspired by real people, your friends and family, and see that impact within our society. Be proud of the work we have done together. Community focused, we are the Toronto Caribbean newspaper.
Brandon V.
Grand Browning and Brandon.
This is the first time I'm doing a show without actual music in the background.
I think it was because we can hear your dulcet tones.
Yeah, but I can hear voices too.
That's nothing to do with the equipment, bro.
Oh, really? Damn.
Oh, guys, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in and staying with us. This is the first show that we're doing. The Gloves Are Off official. We're going to be doing this every single Friday.
From 2 to 3 p.m.
2 to 3 p.m.
We're talking about business.
Yep.
We're talking about inspiration, really.
Yeah.
We're talking about inspiration.
Yeah, real
business.
things within business, within entrepreneurship and stuff like that. And the reason why it's called The Gloves Are Off, I think, is because we want to touch on topics that people really don't want to talk about, or we want to get into topics and talk about the things that people don't want to talk about.
For sure.
But even if you guys have a topic that you'd like us to touch on, please reach out to us. Call in, message us, reach out, whatever you need to do, and tell us, look, it's not like you guys to attack this topic, okay, because I'd like to get your take on it, and then we'll get everybody else involved too.
So you know what's interesting? Let's switch gears.
Okay.
When we had Rain in here before, the magician, you know what I was impressed with the most besides his magic tricks? This dude's 24 years old and knows how to do business. Ooh. He had how to do branding and stuff like this. And one of my questions to him was, like when you're struggling, right, and you get those people that are coming up to you and saying, "Why don't you go get a job like everybody else?"
Why don't you be a sheep like everybody else? No.
His reasoning, his answers were really interesting, and it's something that I believe in. And I find during the journey, they call it the journey of success. I mean, I don't believe in the journey of success. I believe, essentially it is a journey.
Yeah.
I find sometimes you reach certain points when business is going good, and you all of a sudden tend to reflect back where you came from. And that, for me personally, has been the case over the last, I would say, 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
Is where I've had a chance to kind of look back. It was only the other day I was explaining to someone, because a lot of people come in and they see the now.
Yeah.
They see what's in front of you. They see, the nice things.
Yep.
And they look at you sometimes, and this is a big thing for entrepreneurs that are out there that are really either making it or are passing judgment on someone that has made it.
Yeah.
You don't realize the struggles that they've gone through.
Or the breakdowns they've had to get to the breakthroughs.
Oh, this is the wrong show for that, sir. I remember somebody was saying something to me last week.
Yeah.
And I sat down with them earlier this week, and I said, I remember when we first started, and we were in a 3-bedroom hole of an apartment, and our son was born. Two of the rooms were used for bedrooms. One of the room was used to start the business. Okay. Right? And when our daughter had one room, and then we had to put our son somewhere. So our son, his crib was in our room. Okay. We had no room in there. We had the business, which was 2 desks, consists of 2 desks in the office. Okay. And from there, when we finally moved, when we built it and we finally moved, dude, the mold that was in this place and nobody knew, we knew that it was there, but I didn't know to what extent, to what degree this mold was in there until we moved everything out. Okay. We were literally getting sick every other day. Right, and couldn't figure out why. We just figured out, we're just, our immune systems are low or whatever. People don't realize the struggles that people go through sometimes.
100%.
I mean, there was times where personally we've sat down and had $40 to last for 2 weeks. Yeah. And we had to make it that for food for a family. Yeah. Right. So I mean, the struggle. If you're an entrepreneur that's out there, and you're struggling, and people are, I had my sister, which was one of the biggest blows ever. She called me up one day and she's like, "Why don't you just go get a job like everybody else?" Right. And that was a big blow to me, because I looked at her and I'm like, the one person a family member should have the most belief in you and encourage you. And her response was the complete opposite. It wasn't her fault. At the time, she was actually doing it out of caring. But when you're the one going through the struggle, it's an interesting thing, right? I mean, you're already stressed. You're already mentally screwed because you're trying to chase something that seems so like that picture that goes around on Facebook all the time where the guy's digging for the diamonds and gives up right when he is almost there.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing, right? And you are wondering if that's ever going to happen. I remember thinking, am I ever going to get a house? You know what I mean?
I think the situation, first of all, I just want to say hi, Jacqueline Wong. Thank you for tuning in. Let's reach out to you. Hi,
hello,
how you
Mrs.
doing?
Wong.
Mrs. Wong. Miss Wong. Miss Wong.
Ms. Wong?
Okay. So the situation with that, I think, you know what, you're totally right. And I think because you're in a situation now, everybody knows that I come from a network marketing background. Okay, that's basically where I spent 17 years of my life, and I've been in sales and marketing. With that, I've spent a lot of time with people. I've understood entrepreneurship. I understand the breakdowns. I understand the breakthroughs. You know, and within other people.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. And what I found is people wonder why so many people fail. Okay, they wonder why so many people fail. The first thing is we have to understand, this came up on Facebook recently as well. Why do so many people fail? And the thing that we have to understand first and foremost is that people have a wish and a want to be entrepreneurs, but they don't know how to be entrepreneurs. Now, you get a small group of people who've researched, what do I need to do? What is the mental stability and the strength of character, the drive, the stature that I need as a person to be able to get through that and keep on going till I hit success. And that's a very small group of people. Then you have a huge group of people like, I like that lifestyle. I want all that stuff. Let's start it. And they go along it, and they don't realize that there's certain traits or skills that they need to learn along the way. And sometimes having the breakdowns in order to learn that skill, okay, that when they have a small situation, they see it as a job or as life that they can be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to deal with that. And then they walk away from it. So it's perceived as failure within an industry or within a group of people. It's not. What it is failure within ourselves to understand what it is that we need to get to the next level. That's where we need, as you say, mentors.
Yes.
When we have the mentors who can first tell us, this is what you are going to need, get ready for it, because it's not going to be all fun and games. You're going to have to go through breakdowns. You're going to have to go through times where you're like, oh my gosh, is this really worth it? But when you get through to the other end and you ask anybody who's successful, was it worth it? They'll tell you 100%, yes, it was. So most of us aren't geared to be entrepreneurs. We can all be entrepreneurs. Now, next step, when you have friends and relatives and family members. Now, one of the worst human traits is, and this is a humanity thing, is when we have doubts about ourselves, about our capabilities, what we can and what we can't do. Then you have the next situation that you have people who are in a place who are in the world, who are doing what everybody else is doing, cannot understand what it is you're doing, believe what you're doing is stupid, because why wouldn't you do something that keeps you in security, looks at you and then says, that's not for you, or you can't do that, or why don't you just get a job for, like the same as everybody else. Okay? And in that case, what happens now, for a lot of people who don't have that strength of character, they now look at themselves and take what you've done and solidified your doubt of yourself that you already had and turned it into stone to be like, you're right, I can't do this. This is not for me. What, am I stupid? Yeah, and then they walk away from it. But then you've got those other people that get hurt by it because, like, no, you should be, regardless how stupid or how bad it is, unless I'm going to jail, unless I'm taking drugs, unless my whole family's about to just die, okay, you should be supporting me every way and be like, no, you can, okay? Until it's that final point.
Well, you know something that's funny is, don't expect your family to understand. Your friends or your family.
Absolutely not.
Whether you're doing now, I want to just say something and touch on it because Brandon touched on his profession, and I really believe that if you are thinking about business, or even if you are in business, you should get involved with network marketing.
100%.
The reason why is it teaches you. So when I was 18 years old, I had gotten into network marketing, and as you know my history, I was in it for 17 years. It taught me some of the most valuable lessons that I could ever use in life
100%.
and in business.
100%.
It taught me so many principles when it came to working, not expecting people to believe in you,
Yep.
that don't see what you're doing. I remember reading a book. Okay, I read lots of books, but in this book, it talked about a scenario because I mean, it's typical. Whether any type of business that you are in, typically people will not see what you see.
Yes.
So it used an analogy of a dog, and it said, picture this dog. You're going out your front door, and you have the piers outside, right?
Yes.
And there's this one bird that is always there. The dog is chasing the bird. It's literally running from one pier to the other pier to the other pier, barking like crazy, chasing this bird.
Yeah.
Then they said, now take away the bird and let the dog do the same thing.
Absolutely.
What would that dog look like to you? He'd look like he's mad, like there's something wrong with the dog. You probably want to put him down or at least get him psychoanalyzed.
100%. Yes.
But that's the way people are with you and what you see. They don't see your vision necessarily. You might see where you want to go,
Yeah.
but to them, you're looking like that dog that is literally going from one pier to the other, chasing this imaginary bird. And people are looking at you and they're like, why don't you just go get a job like everybody else?
Because you got to start with the end in mind. And starting with the end in mind means you have a vision. And if you look at anybody in history, in business, I know I'm in the hot seat, right? Hey,
Okay,
Eva.
Eva, let's just clarify. This is a show with Brandon and myself.
Both of us.
Yes. So this is the start. You're live with the gloves are off.
The gloves are off. This is the hot seat here.
Yeah,
We're waiting
yeah.
to fill it with somebody.
Yes.
The Invisible Man is our guest at the moment.
With that magician before.
With that
he probably
magician,
could've done it.
That's
Anyways.
it. So with that, you got to start with the end in mind and know what your vision is, what your why is. Connect with your why and understand the vision. And you have to understand and be okay. And this is part of entrepreneurship. And understanding this is first have a why, have a vision, have the end in mind, know what it is you're going to do, and understand that. When you understand that, nobody else is going to understand that unless you come across somebody who's, an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah, yeah.
When they get it, they're going to be like, yes, but nobody else is. And don't expect them to. It is your journey that's meant for you. And if you truly want it, you will go through whatever it takes to make it happen.
I think a lot of people, I mean, it's like the old terminology. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but they don't want to go through the process to get there, right? And it's the same thing with a lot of people. They're not willing. They want all the fancy cars. They want what they see in the videos that are out there and stuff like that, the nice houses, the money. But they don't necessarily, you mean I got to work? It's not like my job where I do from 9 to 5. Dude,
100%.
if you are an entrepreneur, no matter what you are doing,
there is no easy
there
way.
is no 9 to 5. Let me tell you
Doesn't
something.
exist.
There are nights where, I mean, you know that.
Yeah.
I've had like an hour's sleep. Like, I mean, you got to be willing to do whatever it takes. And the only way that's what separates the winners from the losers. And I mean, that stems even down to sports. It stems down to anything. The winners and losers are the winners are the ones that are willing to do whatever it takes, and perfecting your craft. Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan, they trained every day. They worked hard.
Yeah.
They went through the struggles and scraped knees and
you
the
know
whole
what?
thing.
Coming back to it, I don't, again, there's coaches out there that will tell you all the motivational stuff. Okay, because they want you to feel good. There's a pattern in your head that if you
That's a preacher, though.
If you feel good and you feel motivated and you feel like yes, you'll come back again next week. Okay, whereas if I tell you the reality, are you going to come back? Am I willing to take that risk? But that's the difference, okay? There's certain people who understand that if you tell it real as it is, now you have the correct Now, there's motivational stuff as well, but you shouldn't sacrifice one for the other. You should give the real full picture to understand, listen, this is not going to be all fun and games to start off with. You're going to work your backside off. And if you think... people preach time freedom. Excuse me. Go and ask any business person who has any measure of success if there's such a thing as time freedom. Let me explain to you. It does and it doesn't exist, okay? It doesn't exist that you're like, okay, well, I don't have to run my business anymore. Listen, look, it doesn't matter how much money you're making, you're running your business, okay? So if you're running a business, you cannot walk away from it and go and travel the world. I guarantee you, if you look at it, everybody is taking their business with them, okay?
Yes.
Because you don't have time freedom and business. What you have now is created the ability to amalgamate the two and to take your business and your freedom together at the same time, which means that you can go and travel the world and still run your business. You can sit on the beach and still run your business, okay? It's not giving up one or giving up the other, because when you were in Carousel, you were still running your business, right?
No, I was just setting off alarms.
Yeah, setting off alarms. Yeah, we'll tell you that story another time. He was setting off an alarm on me on my show. But the fact was is that
we were still running business.
You were running business, but we went there. You had a great time. You know, you had a great vacation whilst working as well. But you were still running your business, and that was the deal. And this is the way it works. And when we understand that, people have to have the right mindset. That they have to have the correct expectation of what is about to come. They'll make the decision. No, not for me. I'll do the 9 to 5, because there needs to be people doing the 9 to 5 because that's them, and that's okay too. Okay, but there
are people that and I've always said this without offending anybody, but
Too late. Gloves are off.
We need people to pump gas. We
Yes.
need people to work in the grocery stores. We
Yes.
need these people, and there are people that actually prefer
100%.
because they don't want the risk, so they're willing to do the opposite of having a steady paycheck. Making sure at least is guaranteed. I know I make $500 a week.
But when you got those people who are doing that, look, more power to you. The thing that we have to understand as entrepreneurs is that that's what you want to do, and you're happy with that because you have your routine, you have your amount that you make, you know what, you're okay with having a boss, and that's okay. But you have to understand as well is that you can't be like us and we can't be like you, okay? So then the people like us have to understand that that's okay to do. Not like, oh my gosh, you're an idiot because you're doing the 9 to 5. No, that's okay. But then with us...
Here's something interesting, though. Hold on. I know I'm cutting you off
That's
on your rant.
That's
right?
okay.
Interesting stat. Interesting stat. 4 out of every 5 millionaires, so 4 people out of 5, actually work for somebody.
Yes. Yes.
4 out of 5 millionaires, folks, actually work for somebody. So if you have a job and you think that there's no way out,
It's again, it's everybody's different, and it's understanding who you are as a person.
Exactly.
It's being okay with, do I want to work for somebody for the rest of my life? Am I okay with having certain rules, with certain regulations, with doing a 9 to 5? Well, never really a 9 to 5, but am I okay doing that? And if that's you and that's the person you want to excel, that's still success. You know, you're still heading for something. It doesn't mean that, oh, okay, if you're not an entrepreneur, you know, you don't really have high expectations. No, because you have to go out and educate yourself. You have to learn on the job. You have to do politics at work. You have to do things. And if anything, I think it's a little bit harder that you're having to navigate through all those people who are trying to keep you down because you could potentially take their job. Okay,
Yes.
so you have to fight through all that. So you have to have a mental stamina as well. So if you get through that and you start making great money, even if you're not making great money and you're happy where you are and you're like, I have what I need, that's good. But for those people who want more, there's a different way. Now, either you're going to find that through your job or you're going to find that through being an entrepreneur. But I think for coaches that they need to be real, that instead of giving all the excitement, yes, you can do it, hey, let's motivate you into it, I think they need to set the right expectation, because you see so many failures because the coach has failed to set the correct expectation. Is that a phone for us? Somebody calling in?
No, I think it's
It's Mark Trinidad.
somebody calling in for the newspaper. So.
Mark Trinidad saying, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, we're missing Mark. Mark's usually calling in.
Mark, call in, dude.
If he's listening.
If he's listening.
Yeah, he may be Ubering.
Yeah, or he may be getting upset at certain comedians.
Oh. You know about that? Okay.
Yeah, he made it public.
Yeah. Anyway, without getting on that subject right now.
Too late.
So I guess the message of today is if you're an entrepreneur or you know you have a vision or a dream of something that you're going after, you got to be willing to work.
Yep.
And you can't be afraid of somebody else criticizing you. You got to stick to it, man.
You know,
you really got to stick to it.
If people are criticizing you, The thing
It means you're doing something right.
Well, first of all, it means you're doing something right. But what I would suggest that you do is, first and foremost, exactly like Grant said, go find yourself a mentor. And there's people out there who are willing to help you and willing to talk to you every now and then without you having to pay money if you don't have it to start off with, okay? So go find yourself a mentor. Go find yourself a group of people who are like-minded, okay? Who will help support you and lift you up and give you some tips and some tricks and equip you. Listening to the shows that we have here.
Yes.
Always trying to bring people on to equip and give you, you know, motivate you, give you the tools and the things that you need to be able to succeed, okay? So find somebody, put yourself around people. Go where you're celebrated.
Wow.
Very important.
Powerful right there.
Go where you're celebrated, okay?
Very, very powerful. So, dude,
Yes.
that was a good show.
That was a good show. I enjoyed it.
I think, tell us how we did, guys.
Yeah.
If you're watching on Facebook and you're watching after the rerun, be sure to hit share, hit like.
Yep.
If you got some insight, stuff you want to talk about, we're coming every Friday.
Every Friday.
From 2 to 3. We're talking about business. We're talking about inspiration. We're talking about how-tos.
Yep.
We got some amazing guests coming on.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, guys. And again,
It's gonna be interesting.
If you have any topics that's to do with entrepreneurship or business or stuff like that, you know, shoot it out to us. Let us know what it is you'd like to hear about, so that we can bring that topic and give you, you know, I mean, we're never 100% right, you know, so it's always an opinion.
99%.
99.9%. You know, it's always an opinion. It's always something that we've learned, that we understood through experience and through time and through having the breakdowns and breakthroughs. And plus, we're gonna have somebody in the hot seat who will have an opinion as well. So listen in, let us know what your topics are, and we'll be happy to.
And let
try
us know
tackle it.
too, like if you guys have any suggestions that should be attending the
Cindy.
show. Huh?
I just want to say, hey, Cindy, we got a couple of people who joined in. Christina Cummings, all the way from Winnipeg. Cindy Belowitz-Denny, all the way from Phoenix,
what?
Arizona.
Just out of nowhere.
Hey, Cindy.
Arizona in the house.
Arizona in the house. Winnipeg in the house. Christina Cummings. Join us.
Nice.
Join us next Friday.
Next Friday, we are done. Brandon, this has been. I think we got something going here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
and we had no influences today because our pilot show had influences. I had influences.
Yeah.
it was one
Apple
of those
juice.
days. So, shouts out to Christina Cummins.
Yeah.
Saying hi to you. And
Love you
Cindy.
too, Christina.
She loves you.
She loves me.
Does Michelle know
She's
that?
my sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, her and her hubby are awesome. And
She's
Cindy's awesome
like
too.
your legitimate sister.
Or
from another mother?
From another mother.
Okay.
But
All
as
right.
good
So,
as.
anyways, keep it locked. Make
Keep
sure
it locked.
DT's on tonight from the ground up, and we'll see you next week.
Next week, guys.
Same bad channel.
Same bad
you know
channel.
who's coming in next Friday on Charles' show?
Don't tell me the Brampton Batman.
The Brampton Batman.
The Brampton Batman is coming on Charles' show. When's that show?
From 11 till 1.
11 to 1.
And then from 1 to 2, we have Real Talk with myself and Alyssa. And then
Mm-hmm.
from 2 to 3, we have The Gloves Are Off with myself and Brandon.
And don't forget, Monday morning
Oh,
at
yeah, we can't forget
11.
that.
Don't forget that. The Breakthrough Show is me, your host, Brandon.
The current #1 show on Carib101 right now, and I think we're gonna break it with this show.
Absolutely.
Sorry, because we're gonna talk real. Don't mind the background
Don't
that's
mind
back
the
there,
back. We're gonna
But
change that.
and no pun intended. But we're gonna have real talk when it comes to business,
Absolutely.
when it comes to inspiration,
Absolutely.
and just calling.
Welcome UK in the house. Just joined Vimla.
Oh, nice. Okay, all you guys coming on when we're going.
I know. 2 to 3, guys. 2 to 3. That's
Two-
EST Canada time. Because
Est?
we get some people
Est?
somewhere else. Est.
Okay. So make sure you come next Est, and we are done. I'm Grant Browning, and this is
Brandon V.
and you're listening to.
The gloves are off.
We need to redo our sound effects so
think
we
we
can
need to
get
do.
like the. We'll see you till next week.
Take care, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
All great leaders begin with a vision to start a movement, to make a real impact in society, communicating their message and aligning themselves with like-minded people to equip and inspire others to attain their vision. Creating a vital, healthy community is a group effort, and at the heart of it, you'll find local businesses and organizations fueled by committed people who are passionate about building a better tomorrow for us all. The Toronto Caribbean newspaper has started their own movement, promising to focus on the needs of the community, seeking out relationships with businesses and corporations that share in that same mission. We are legacy builders with one shot to make a difference, and together we can empower the community by adding value, instilling self-worth, and showcasing the cultural identity of our beautiful and ethnically diverse community. As business leaders, we have a corporate responsibility to set the tone of our community with principles led by performance-focused results. By combining our reach, we can provide a platform to establish and share our contributions with the world. We are all people working for companies that are interested in building a better community, helping people stand tall and be proud of their culture. If anybody has ever done it, then you can too. We are all capable, and working together, combining our skills and resources, we can make a change and leave behind an unforgettable legacy.